Hey guys, this is Mylandah. Welcome back to Mass Effect Andromeda. Um, this little section here, I'm just gonna be reading actually, as I want to keep myself updated on stuff. So probably not gonna do a lot of gaming, but just reading. So I'm gonna be reading through the Codex. If you don't want to be here for the Codex, then just skip this episode. Oh god, so many things to read. Yep, I don't want to lag behind on reading, so let's do it. The journey so far, as you explore Andromeda, the allies, enemies, and choices you make will have significant impact on the future of Helios and those who call the cluster home. Alright. Finding a home. The Helios cluster is nothing like the initiative expected. The Pathfinder faces terrible dangers and unimaginable wonders in the search for a safe place to call home. Okay, during your trial by error on Habitat 7, you recognized the alien you met as a hostile threat and fought to defend your crewman Fisher, explored an alien laboratory, found a cave full of plant life that survived from the planet's golden world era, discovered alien shuttlecraft of unknown origin, rescued Greer from his captors, expressed doubt about accepting the role of Pathfinder. That's wonderful. I'm laughing because they simplified everything into bullet points compared to like a whole paragraph. Somehow I find it funny. The Pathfinder is more than a title like everyone else in the initiative. Rider must decide who to become in the new frontiers of Helios. You still mourn the loss of your father Alec, a man you loved and respected. You hope you'd have made him proud as Pathfinder. Okay. The Andromeda Initiative. The initiative was built on efforts of thousands who devoted years of time and countless research to reach the Andromeda Galaxy. These are the people, places, and organizations that make Pathfinder's mission possible. Known associates. We got to read about a people. Sam, officially designated as Simulated Adaptive Matrix. Sam, I am an artificial intelligence that acts as a coordinating element between Pathfinder, Alec, Ryder, and the rest of his team. My quantum processing power is used to conduct on-the-spot scan of alien worlds, assist in scientific studies or tactical situation, and monitor the team's weapon and equipment. I am physically located on Arc Hyperion in a secure server banks, collectively known as SamNode. While my primary connection is to Alec via a neural transplant, I effectively serve as a mission computer for all team members during Pathfinder operations. I also collate and analyze data from numerous sources and compile it for later study. I am tasked with authoring and updating the Pathfinder Team Codex based on available information and discoveries as they are made. Oh, so Sam wrote all of this crap, okay? I guess, well, it's not that crap. Just, Scott Ryder, he's in a freaking coma. Born your younger twin in the Citadel Space Station in 2163, Scott grew up knowing the station as a getaway to the entire Milky Way. In his orientation interviews, he claims this fostered a longing in steps through those gateways to adventure. With formal training aided by Alec Ryder and 7 backgrounds, Scott joined the System Alliance military and was assigned to an outpost near Arcturus Station, overseeing Relay 202, a primary route to Arcturus. This mass relay leads to a contest to space and has an unsavory reputation. Scott was needed to protect Arcturus, but also had a front row seat to everyone else going off to fortune and glory. When Alec Ryder was dishonorably discharged due to his AI research, internal memos showed that this also effectively ended Scott's career, making Andromeda a more attractive option for the adventures he sought. On arrival in Andromeda, Scott's Cryoprod was damaged and his revival process interrupted. Dr. Lexi Tefero advised keeping him in medical-induced coma to allow him to awaken naturally. Wow, okay. Now we're learning more about Alec. Born on Earth in 2129, Alec Ryder says his love of New Frontier was fostered by a childhood in the Sierra Nevadas. I probably butchered that. According to his service record, he joined the Alliance military and was eventually assigned to John Grimsom's historic expedition through the Charon Relay. Charon? His experience made him a candidate for what would later be known as N7 training back on Earth, where he met Dr. Ellen Harlow. After their marriage, Alec continued military service, most notably on Shaanxi in the First Contact War against the Turian. Do I know Ellen Harlow? I don't remember. Assigned as a military attaché to the Citadel in the late 2160, Alec became interested in artificial intelligence as a mean of human advancement. His pursuit of this illegal technology led to a dishonorable discharge from the Alliance military. Contacted by the Andromeda initiative, Alec found a sponsor to help complete his work. I am the product of that research. Assisting not only the initiative but Alec's role as a pathfinder. Soon after our arrival in Andromeda 2819, Alec Ryder died during operation on Habitat 7. Oh, cool. Alec actually made that. Oh, wow. That's very interesting. Cora Harper. Lieutenant Cora Harper, service number 6002 AC 1762, is a human biotic and formerly an officer in the System Alliance military. Her screening interview states she was raised in poverty on an independent cargo freighter, joined the Alliance at 18 to obtain training for her powerful biotic abilities. However, Cora claims her superior saw her talents as a liability, supported by test scores showing her abilities spike at abnormally high levels. She was transferred via the Citadel Council Valkyrie program, a subset of the interspecies military integration plan, and placed with the Asari Commando Unit. Talian's daughter? Through the activities of Asari Huntress are typically sealed for 5,000 years. Sorry. 5,000 years. Cora has freely shared her experience on record: peacekeeping, counterterrorism, and hunting fugitives. When she left Talian's daughter for the Andromeda initiative, no reason is recorded. Cora's Huntress training and biotic capabilities made her a candidate for Alec Ryder's second in command, if warranted, his successor as Pathfinder. Talk about Liam. Oh, I don't know you. Liam Costa is a human security and crisis response specialist with civilian tactical training. His screening interview states that he is born on Earth, but his parents specialized in the interplanetary policy law, and the family moved frequently. Their primary residence was split between London and Citadel. Liam entered university for engineering, but left to train for law enforcement. Though initially driven, he was only briefly stationed as a police officer and described leaving as a necessary move for all concerned. He transitioned to the multi-space effort of heavy urban search and crisis response. If Liam was delusional in law enforcement, service records show that was not mirrored in crisis response. The human contingent, heavy urban search terrain 1 reported that Liam performed exceptionally in all conditions. Liam says that this is when he learned of the Andromeda initiative after meeting former Alliance personnel at post-hostility relief action. His multidisciplinary skill set him apart, and Liam was handpicked by Alec Ryder to support the Pathfinder team. Let's read about you. Okay. Ellen Ryder, formerly Harlow, was a pioneering designer of biotic implants. In the 2150s, she was leading a biomedical and cybernetic researcher at UFRJ in Rio de Janeiro. When human biotics began to emerge as a scientific field, Ellen found possible applications for her work in integrated wetware. Her early design for biotic implant formed the framework for later L2 and L3 model. Ellen met Alec Ryder when he was posted to Rio for CIT N7 training before the first contact war. She eventually joined Alec on the Citadel when he was posted there as a military attaché, and gave birth to fraternal twins in the station in 2163. Unfortunately, Element Zero, the catalyst for biotic mutation, is a hazardous material poorly understood in the early years of human biotics. After repeat accidental exposure, Ellen eventually developed a terminal neurodegenerative order, later known as AEND. In her final years, Ryder built what would later become the Pathfinder implant, designed to sync with the AI partner Alec Ryder was developing. Ellen died before my creation was fully realized. Oh. I'm actually glad I'm reading these, though. More background. History, organization, and person of note in Andromeda Initiative. Alright. The Andromeda Initiative, brainchild of the visionary billionaire Jean Garson. The Andromeda Initiative was conceived as Garson's personal dream and a desire to prove humanity's capabilities beyond the military power demonstrated in the First Contact War. Garson officially began planning the initiative in 2172, announcing her ambitious goal of launching a pioneering colonization effort to Andromeda within 20 years. Internal reports show the struggles that the early initiative faced. However, Jean Garson's personal stake and enthusiasm sustained the initiative until the early 2180, when, after a sudden influx of investment and a new marketing strategy, interest in the initiative grew afresh. Construction of the Ark was completed rapidly thereafter, and the Andromeda Initiative officially launched in 2185. The initiative's mission statement is to bridge Andromeda and the Milky Way, creating a sustainable, inclusive civilization, and push scientific development forward by centuries. In official literature, Jean Garson characterizes the initiative as continuing the search for humanity's next horizon. Andromeda Initiative. Golden Worlds. Golden Worlds are planets the Andromeda Helios cluster that are either the strongest possible candidates for settlement or whose resources could bolster the initiative's chance at long-term survival. Based on survey data, the long-term projections, some are believed to be golden worlds capable of supporting life, others are mineral treasure troves that could supply fledgling colonies with vital resources. These worlds were designed habitats 1 to 7. While not generally used in planetary surveying, the term Golden World was coined by the Andromeda Initiative marketing team and has stuck ever since. The initiative's early settlement strategy revolves around these golden worlds. The Ark cannot sustain the population in stasis indefinitely, and the Nexus required vast quantities of refined ore, helium-3, water, ice, and element 0. Underground Pathfinder surveys are essential to confirm quickly that the golden worlds are suitable for outposts. Glossary of terms. A brief refresher of terms used in Andromeda Initiative literature. Ammunition block, a solid block of metal. What? Is that? I think there's a truck outside. I'm sorry. Ammunition truck. What? Block. A block. Oh my god. A solid block of metal loaded into a gun. Sand-sized particles are sheared off by the gun's target mechanism and then fired as projectiles, allowing single block to give ammunition for multiple combat encounters. Citadel, a mass ancient space station in the Milky Way that act as a, we know what that is, center of the galaxy thing. Comboy. Boy. A communication buoy that relays data through corridors of mass-free space. Extranet, a publicly accessible information network across the Milky Way. akin to a planetary internet on a galactic scale. Such a network is slow being developed in Andromeda while communication are established. Heartsuit. An exploration combat suit, usually armored with titanium or ceramic plating and equipped with kinetic barriers to protect against hostile fire and environmental hazard. A heat sink, also known as a thermal clip, a detachable coolant-filled sink used to prevent weapons from overheating. They must be ejected and replaced regularly during firefights. Okay. Flash forging, immediate manufacturing of a usually short-lived object from raw material using an Omni tool or other fabrication device. Omni blades are typically flashed forged. Oh, yeah, I want melee. FTL, faster than light travel. Kinetic barrier, also known as shield, used to repel fast-moving projectiles, and it's kinetic but does not defend against melee attacks. Huh. High gravity kinetic barrier protects starship from debris. Mass accelerator, a railgun that lowers the mass of a projectile and then hurls it at relativistic speed. Sufficient acceleration allows even a tiny projectile to impact with tremendous force. Mass relay, a network of mass transit facility across the Milky Way used to immediately transport starships hundreds of light years. No such network exists in Andromeda. Well, not yet, because we're not there yet. There might be some that like alien made. Medigel, yes, I was looking for Medigel. A sterile medical salve that bonds to flesh immediately seals injuries against bleeding or infection. It can be removed with small ultrasound pulse. Manufacturing. Small-scale manufacturing of 3D objects, often on the battlefield for emergency repairs. Oh. Omnigel. A compound of alloy, ceramic, and other materials suspended in a semi-molten state, used with an Omni tool to build small 3D projects almost instantly. OSD. Optical storage disk can contain data or the blueprints and programming used in manufacturing. QEC, quantum entanglement communication, instantaneous communication using two particles that are linked at quantum level. Cool. Alright, Andromeda Initiative. Jean Gosson. Founder of Andromeda Initiative, Garson was one of humanity's wealthiest and most eccentric entrepreneur in the Milky Way. Her business interests were wide-ranging as she made her fortune from investments in a myriad of technology-related fields. Always a maverick, it was her vision of traveling to a new galaxy that set the Andromeda Initiative in motion. Ignoring skeptics and naysayers, Garson spent vast sums of money building or acquiring the necessary technology and ships to make the long voyage possible. It was a private venture, entirely funded by Garson, so as to remain free from any government oversight. In 2185, Garson began the long journey to Andromeda. Aboard the support hub Nexus, in a speech given in the eve of departure, she remarked on the collective knowledge and history represented by the Ark. We carry all these things, like the honed tools of an artist, to a great empty canvas. To Andromeda we go to paint our masterpiece. Garson is slated to serve as the overall leader of the initiative upon arrival. Where is she? Sorry, I was distracted mid-reading because I was thinking, where the hell is she? Have we seen her? I mean, I've seen her on the screen, but have we seen her anywhere else? I don't remember. Where is she? I mean, it would be weird if they send them off and she's not on the thing. I mean, she'd be dead by then, by the time they reached Andromeda. So she has to be on one of the arcs. Intergalactic travel was the topic. What is this? The launch. Intergalactic travel was the topic of intranet discussion in the Milky Way for centuries. Several Asari or Solarian-led expeditions were proposed over the years, but peter out due to lack of interest, insufficient funds, or engineering hurdles. The Andromeda initiative used of AI like myself allowed many of the technical problems to be solved, but invited disapproval from the Turian hierarchy and the System Alliance. Building a fleet of dreadnought-sized Ark with private funding required delicate negotiation with the Citadel Council, and advanced technology essential to survival in Andromeda was often acquired by unorthodox means. Official initiative records show the Nexus departed first in 2185, escorted by a small squadron of fighters for protection, followed by 4 arcs that comprised the initial launch wave. Additional vessels were in development, including the Quarian-led ship accommodating multiple species, but construction was slow due to their diverse requirements, and the second launch wave was delayed. Initiative observer remained optimistic. Right? The Pathfinders. Details on the mission on personal files of all initiative Pathfinders. Who do we have? Role of a Pathfinder. Oh, okay. Pathfinders are the tip of the spear for exploring new worlds. While planetary surveying is typically a long-term multiple-team process, the initiative found an alternative thanks to Alex Ryder's AI research. An individual equipped with the best training and technology available, and an AI partner that can run complex studies in seconds and 100 test simulation a minute. With AI support, Pathfinders can determine within hours whether a planet is suitable for habitation and direct the Nexus as to what colonist block stands the best chance there. Pathfinders are trained to improve viability of potential planets, initiate first contact with unknown species, find suitable outpost sites, and handle any external threats before the first colonists touch soil. The presence of a Pathfinder is a reassurance that a planet can be settled safely and with a high expectation of success. So we're playing Sims? Are we Sims? Sim City? Is that what we're doing? We still have 1, 2, 3. Oh, is that only 4? 5. 5 things to read. Okay, Arc species. Multiple advanced civilizations have made the journey from the Milky Way galaxy to Andromeda. What do we have? We have the Asaris. Data on biology, culture, and stuff. Oh my god. Have I have I done this before in the first Mass Effect? I vaguely remember reading Codex in Mass Effect 1. Let's read all about Liara. Archaeological evidence showed that the abundant Thessian resources and their natural tendency to cooperate helped ancient Asari develop city building, writing, and agriculture unusually early. The tone of research papers suggests this is a point of pride for Asari scholars. After studying a number of Prothean ruins and developing their space program, Asari astronauts found their way to the Citadel, the most advanced station in the Milky Way, deserted since the Prothean extinction. Later, when Solarian explorer reached the station, the Asari proposed a joint government, eventually known as the Citadel Council. The Asari have played a fundamental role in galactic politics ever since. Asari commandos served with distinction in Arachni wars, despite heavy losses and Krogan occupation of the Asari colony. Lucia was the tipping point for the Krogan rebellions. In recent years, the Asari have devoted themselves to diplomatic services, including helping to negotiate the 2157 humanitarian ceasefire. Yeah, didn't they discover something in Mass Effect 3? I just think something happened there. We should check that out. They were asleep when that happened, so renowned for their long life span, biotic ability, and diplomatic nature, the Asari were one of the most influential species in the Milky Way. Asari explorers were the first to discover the immense Citadel Station, and it was the Asari who first proposed the creation of the Citadel Council. Asari are monogendered. Their unique physiology allows them to reproduce with any species via a form of parthenogenesis, passing on genetic traits to their daughters. Almost all Asari are biotic, and the control over their nervous system allows them to hone their powers to heights few other species can match. An Asari can live for 1,000 years, passing through life stages referring as maiden, matron, matriarch. Asari matriarchs are ancient and respected, often holding immense cultural and economic power, though no such framework exists in the Helios cluster. The Asari come from Thesia, whose vast element zero deposit form the basis of the most powerful economy in the Milky Way. Living in small city-states, the natural Asari tendencies to cooperate lead to the loose conglomerate known as the Asari Republics. Government operates as an e-democracy. Policy discussions take place over the extranet and are open to all. Decisions were made by consensus or with the advice of politically minded matriarchs. The Asari military is relatively small and informal, but no less lethal. Small units of volunteer Asari commandos, also known as huntresses, handle peacekeeping operations in Asari space and were among the first council specters. Their 1,000-year lifespan almost gives most Asari a long view of events, investments, social programs, and environmental policies trend towards long-term rather than short-term rewards. This approach drew many Asari to the Andromeda initiative, undaunted by the century-long journey. Yep, the biology. Though they appear feminine to many species, Asari are a monogender species. During reproduction, they provide two sets of genes to their daughters in the form of parthenogenesis, with the second set modified by contact with a partner. During Asari melding, an Asari attunes her nervous system to her partner, giving and receiving electrical impulses through the skin until the two briefly becomes one unified nervous system. Wow. Imagine coming up with this system. This fine control over their nervous system contributes to the Asari's talent for biotics. Few species can train the level of control that most Asari have by nature. Since joining the Citadel, Asari prefer to mate outside their own species, claiming that this fosters development and understanding. It also reduces incidence of Ardat Yakshi, pure-blooded Asari who suffers a dangerous genetic disorder. If Asari are compatible with life in Andromeda, that will prove several theories about the fundamental building block of life. Huh. Humans. Data on biology, culture, and history of the human species. We haven't seen the rest of the species because maybe we haven't met any yet, so we'll see. We have the Human System Alliance. The System Alliance is a supranational government that spearheads human space exploration and settlement in the Milky Way. The Alliance is responsible for the governance and defense of extrasolar colonies and station, and officially represents humans on the Citadel Council. The Alliance was found out of necessity, as no single nation could fund and manage the rapid expansion of humanity from Sol. The discovery of Prothean ruins on Mars had proven that alien contact was inevitable, earning international support for the alliance that solidified after Alliance forces liberated Shanxi in the first contact war. Archived Extranext article that Jean Garce's staffed bulletins revealed tension between the Alliance and Andromeda Initiative, construction of Dreadnought-sized ship, and persistent rumors of AI development, which could have damaged humanity standing on the Citadel, led to the Alliance demanding to oversee the initiative's lab and shipyards. Negotiation continued until the day of the initiative's departure. N7. The most respected System Alliance officer training is rewarded through Interplanetary Combative Training (ICT) at the Villa Militaire in Rio de Janeiro. Candidates at the villa were initially given 20-hour training missions to lead teams through hostile terrain on little food or sleep. Trainees who do well are awarded with internal designation of N1 and are invited to return. Subsequent courses N2 to N6 are often held off planet and include instruction on zero-G combat, military free fall, parachuting, jetpack fight, combat diving, combat instruction, linguistics, and frontline trauma core for human and alien biology. The highest grade of training, N6, provide actual combat experience in conflict zones through the galaxy. If the trainee survives these scenarios in admirable and effective fashion, he or she receives the coveted N7 designation. N7 is the only ICT designation that may be worn on fields or dress uniforms. Andromeda species. Have we even seen any species yet? The Andromeda galaxy is a home to new intelligent species. We don't know anything, do we? Okay. On arrival on the Helios, oh my god, Helios cluster, ground teams have sighted strange structures and technology in multiple locations. This technology appears to be inactive or performing functions that are not fully understood. Whatever its purpose, even cursory scans show this technology is highly advanced and constructed of unknown materials. Alec Ryder and I developed a means to interface with this technology, which he believes was causing the violent weather condition on Habitat 7. Though he did not survive to develop his theory, the structure we activated appears to be a form of atmosphere processor. After our interface, Habitat 7's ecology showed a degree of improvement. The energy cloud hampering the Hyperion was diminished. Unknown species. Sighted on Habitat 7, this unknown species has proven to be extremely dangerous. Their armor and equipment suggest a technologically advanced species capable of space flight, while their battle tactics indicate attritional warfare with a centralized command. In the event of hostile encounter, first contact protocols counsel withdrawal and remote long-term study, but the circumstance of our arrival in the Helios cluster makes this unlikely. Without access to the species' language or an understanding of their motives aside from attacking on sight, I cannot advise a procedure aside from avoidance if possible and self-defense if necessary. Flora and fauna. Many unique plants. We have many unique plants. We have a, oh my god, nicknamed a manta by Andromeda Initiative observers. This majestic creature has been sighted on several worlds on the Helios cluster. The Nexus scientists believe it may have originally evolved on the world with heavy deposits of element 0, giving it the ability to lower its mass enough to swim through the air. Expanding the muscular gas bladders on its underside allow the creature to rise and orient itself in flight. Despite its size, roughly 30 meters, the manta is not a threat to outposts or explorers. It appears to subsist on mineral deposit from rock formations, wrapping itself around rock spires or even against cliff faces to remain camouflaged while it feeds. Their camouflage ability suggests that these manta have predators or other reasons to remain hidden. Ooh, but thus far the reason remain unclear. Oh no, there's something bigger. Oh no. Planets and locations. Helios cluster contains many habitable worlds and other points of interest for the Pathfinder to explore. Okay. We have Habitat 7. The planet known as Habitat 7 was one of the golden worlds selected by the Andromeda Initiative for early settlement. Signs pointed to a lush, biologically diverse tropical region that could easily support an outpost. With no communication with the Nexus or sister arcs upon arrival to the Helios cluster, the Hyperion approached Habitat 7 to begin survey and settlement operation as soon as possible. But even visual assessment showed that the planet was no longer viable. Habitat 7 is now a storm-racked world with an unbreathable argon nitrogen atmosphere. Intense magnetic activity and unknown metallic elements interact with the storm, causing interesting but highly destructive electrical phenomena. The investigating Pathfinder team encounter hostile alien life and strange technology on the surface. Reactivating this technology caused a noticeable change in the condition on Habitat 7. However, the planet is still unsuitable for settlement, and the result activation ultimately claimed the life of Alec Ryder. Yes, the human Pathfinder. Unknown phenomenon. Upon arrival in the Helios cluster, Arc Hyperion encountered a massive and extremely dangerous interstellar phenomenon that severely damaged the arc, extending beyond the solar system. The phenomenon did not appear on any of our long-range surveys of Andromeda, and now lies directly in the Arc Hyperion's course. It is too early to have a clear understanding of this phenomenon, which appears to be an energetic cloud of dense debris with bizarre properties. Initial sensor reading are inconclusive, since the phenomenon itself caused several interference. Asked to speculate, I suggest on the preliminary evidence that it may be a dark energy phenomenon. Despite inconsistencies with our current understanding of dark energy or dark fluid theory, a more disquieting possibility is that this energy cloud exhibit properties so unknown to current physics that our sensors are unable to report accurately. Investigations are continuing. The Andromeda Galaxy. Located 2.5 million light years from the Milky Way, the Andromeda Galaxy is the largest galaxy in the local group, also categorized as M31. Andromeda is a spiral galaxy, roughly 220,000 light years in diameter. Wow. Containing approximately 1 trillion stars compared to the Milky Way's 300 billion. The Helios cluster is a large star cluster located on the galaxy's outer fringe. Andromeda has roughly 14 satellite galaxies, which orbit the galactic disk. Evidence shows a disturbance where one of these companion galaxies, M32, passed through Andromeda's spiral arm several million years ago. Andromeda itself is also accelerating towards the Milky Way at roughly 100 km per second. It's roughly 4 billion years to... In roughly 4 billion years, the Andromeda and Milky Way galaxy will collide and merge, forming a new galactic disk. Wow, shit's gonna happen in 4 billion years. I'm a little bit sad that I don't get to see it, but also glad that I won't die that way. I'll still die, but a different way. Technology. Information on technology used in initiative and other advanced civilization on Helios. Technology. Devices used to... okay. Let's see, what do we have? We have a scanner. Wow. That's a lot of reading. Let's see. Scanner planetary surveying, especially for potential settlement, involves meticulous scanning. However, there has been little pressure to improve planetary scanners in its research for a better solution for its Pathfinder. The Andromeda initiative began with hardware salvaged from Geth platforms and software developed by the Solarian STG. With artificial intelligence support, initiative scientists develop a fast, accurate sampling system, codename Panoptes, linking to the quantum computing power of AI, which can produce multiple analysis and predictive models in seconds. They created an omni-mounted scanners that complete accurate surveys in moments instead of weeks. For typical scanning, the Panoptes, the Pano system use a transmitter, accelerator, mass spectrometer, TRAMS. This creates a snapshot of an object component, atomic weight, and radioactivity, and allows me to produce a more in-depth analysis. For biological material, the Pano system switches to an electrospray ionization system, so plants and or animals can be scanned without causing radiation damage. Oh, this is what this is. Field repurposing. Yes. With limited cargo space aboard the arcs or specialized gearing and facing unknown dangers in Andromeda, the initiative philosophy is adapt to succeed. Colonists are required to have a wide variety of skill, equipment, and weapons are expected to perform multiple functions. However, this adaptability is fueled by non-renewable resources like ammunition, medigel, and power cells. Knowing they would not be readily available in Andromeda in an emergency, the initiative Omni tools can recover and repurpose appropriate resources to serve a similar function. Liquid coolants allow weapons heat sink to be reused. Organic compounds can be refined to medigel, and so on. When these resources are available, the user is alerted via the interface between the user scanner and the HUD, the HUD. Okay. Yay! Once proprietary hardware for Turian Space Forces Initiative armor comes with jump jets as standard. These jets allow a user to make extremely high jumps or hover for several seconds. All colonists are trained in their operation to evade predators or environmental hazards, obtain resource, or conduct maintenance in high place safety. The jump jet itself consists of helium-3 micro thrusters with a tungsten hafnium carbide casing. Wow, the gyroscopic element 0 core function to keep both the user orientated in flight and lower their mass while hovering, keeping fuel expenditure down. Hard-coded safety feature prevents continuous operation of jump jets to avoid injuring the user or melting their equipment. Ooh, is that cereal? While Andromeda Initiative gear and weaponry is designed to be as versatile as possible, extraordinary circumstances sometimes arise. Pathfinders and scouts forces often turn to less orthodox resources to ensure they survive hostile condition. Adrenaline is a nickname for a prototype Omnigel OSD package. When developed by it bypasses Omnitool's safeties to manufacture small-scale manufacture new heatsink and provide a temporary but powerful boost to armor. A shield capacitor immediately overlocks a user's shield, bringing them to full power and giving them a boost. This boost is unstable, however, and will be lost the next time the shield is breached. A life support pack boost the environmental management system of a user hard suit, enabling them to cope with the environmental hazard for a longer period. Special ammunition packs apply a variety of effects to weapon fire. Incendiary ammo coats projectiles in thermite paste as they are fired. The paste adheres to and burns through armor. Syro. Oh my god. Ammo uses Bose-Einstein condensate to freeze an enemy or slow them. Disruptor ammo. Projectile carry an electrical charge that damages enemy hard suit system. I can't really remember when to use what. That's usually the problem. That's why I don't use them at all. The Cobra RPG package uses a volatile solution of Omnigel to manufacture an short-lived but extremely dangerous projectile. Launched from an Omni tool, it hits with the same explosive power as a portable rocket launcher. Omni tool are handheld devices that combine a computer microframe, sensor analysis pack, and manufacturing fabricator. Versatile and reliable, the Omni tool can be used to analyze and adjust the functionality of most standard equipment, including weapons and armor from a distance. The holographic haptic interface also functions as a communication device. With sufficient Omnigel or other raw materials, usually converted from salvaged light alloys, plastics, or ceramics, an Omnitool fabrication module can flash forge small three-dimensional objects or emergency suit patches. This allows quick repair or modification on the field. The Andromeda Initiative Omni-Tool are designed for reliability and efficient recycling of materials. Pathfinder Omni-Tools take design inspiration from the modules used by Solarian intelligence services, prioritizing the computer microframe to allow lag-free scanning and AI support. Settling Helios technology. That's there. Let's see. Charting the Andromeda galaxy for habitable planets presents a unique challenge. Observation is limited by light, and given Andromeda's distance, any observation from the Milky Way are 2.5 million years out of date. Enough time for the planet to have altered irrevocably. Initial attempts to identify settlement sites were made by obtaining astronomical surveys and running them through predictive models. But Jean Garson was unwilling to risk thousands of colonists without solid information. Good on her. Eventually, the initiative obtained promising data from Korean explorers who claimed to have found a Geth array on the fringes of the Perseus Veil. This array was supposedly built from these three mass relays using sensors in the combined relay corridor as a form of FTL telescope to observe dark space beyond the galactic rim. Why the Geth expended so much effort to study dark space is not known. Amongst these observations were near contemporary surveys of Andromeda, when our predictive models confirmed them within a acceptable margin. The initiative was able to begin identifying golden worlds. Cryogenic stasis. For many species, early long-range exploration relied on cryogenic stasis. Without modern FTL capabilities or long-distance transit methods like mass relays, the distance involved in space travel meant that most crew would die of old age before reaching the destination. Cryogenic stasis usually lowers the body's temperature enough to slow its vital function, but not low enough for damaging ice crystals to form. Before the pod generates a mass effect stasis field that suspends both the individual and the interior environment in the pod. Contrary to depictions on popular media, the individual is not conscious of time passing from most travelers' perspective. They lie down in the pod only to be woken moments later. Stasis failure, while regrettably common for early expedition, has been vastly improved over the years. Even in the event of a catastrophic system failure, multiple monitoring VIs and failsafes are in place to initiate an emergency wake-up. Text and biotics. Science behind ability that seems to defy the law of physics. Yay! Element 0, known as Ezo, a rare material known as element 0 generates a field when subjected to an electrical current which raises or lowers the mass of all objects within it. This mass effect form the basis of modern technology, from weapons and manufacturing to enabling faster than light travel. Element 0 is generated with solid matter, such as a planet is affected by the energy of a store-going supernova. The material is common in its asteroid debris that orbits neutron stars and pulsars. Through mining such regions is extremely hazardous and requires significant investment. Various isotypes of element 0 have been identified, though the rarest have only been observed in laboratory conditions. Surveys of the Helios cluster suggest that a region is rich in element 0, which is a deciding factor in the Andromeda Initiative decision to settle there. Without ESO, the initiative's technology would quickly become obsolete. Yes, the faster than light drive. The starship travels faster than light using an element 0 drive core. In special relativity, an object approaching light speed effectively gains in mass, but until it would take infinite energy to propel it. But a negative electrical current running through an ESO drive core lowers the ship's mass, allowing it to travel at faster than light speed. Motive force is provided by the ship's thruster, chemical rockets commercial fusion torch, or military anti-proton drive, in addition to the FTL drive core. Without thrusters, the ship has no ability to move. Standard drive core is built up with a static charge during operation and must be discharged periodically, otherwise the core discharges into the ship itself with catastrophic results. The initiative's drive core, intended for long-term voyages, are designed to recycle or reduce static buildup. Mass effect fields. Element 0 can increase or decrease the mass of a volume of space-time when subjected to an electrical current. With a positive current, mass is increased. With a negative current, mass is decreased. The stronger the current, the greater the magnitude of the dark energy mass effect. In space, low mass field allowed FTL travel in expensive service to orbit transit. High mass fields create an artificial gravity and push space debris away from vessels. In manufacturing, low mass fields permit the creation of evenly blended alloys, while high mass compaction creates dense, sturdy construction materials. The Andromeda Initiative's technology relies heavily on mass effect fields, from reduced mass supply drops for outposts to the impressive long-range drive cores on the arcs. So cool. Biotics. Biotics are a rare individual with the ability to create and manipulate mass effect fields. Given the correct implants and careful training, a biotic can raise defensive barriers, yank opponents off their feet, and shred an enemy apart at a molecular level. A biotic gains these abilities after exposure to dust form element 0 in utero, or via secondary exposure at young age, though this often results in fatal cancer. Roughly 10% of these exposed develop element 0 nodules along their nervous system. Once activated by the body's electrical impulses, these nodules allow the biotic to create mass effect fields, though most need a neural implant to wield them effectively. Some species, like the Asari, are naturally biotic, but human biotics are still relatively rare, and many view them with suspicion. The Andromeda Initiative has proven attractive to biotic applicants, like Cora. Oh, ships and vehicles. Oh, only one. Okay. Ark Hyperion serves as the main vessels for carrying human settler bound for Andromeda, named after Greek mythology figure associated with the knowledge of celestial bodies. The Hyperion represents a breakthrough in galactic travels. Substantial money and resources were devoted to its construction, all privately funded by Jane Garson and the Andromeda Initiative. Built to withstand the rigors of nearly 2.5 million light-years voyage, the Hyperion is outfitted with ODSY drive core technology, which allows the ship to make a 600-year voyage safely at FTL speed. It features enough stasis pod to accommodate approximately 20,000 settlers and crew. Ark Hyperion left the Milky Way in 2185 as part of the initial wave of departure under the command of Captain Nozomi Dun. Am I all done? Wow. I'm all done with the Codex. So, should I read the journal? What's in this journal? That Hyperion has docked with the Nexus and traveled to... Okay. Oh, okay, this is just a quest list. Yeah, it's just a quest list. Okay, well, that's all I have for today. That's a lot of reading. Look at her eyes. She can't even take it anymore. That's a lot of reading. So, yeah, that's all I have for today. Next time, we're going to go back to the game. Actually, run around, go to Nexus, see what happens. So, yeah, thank you all for watching or listening. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.